This is just a recap on how we approximate irrational numbers without using our calculator. Now, the first thing that you want to do is you want to have a list of all of your perfect squares. I've asked for you to be able to know up through 15. This chart says 13. That's perfectly fine. So it says right over here that 1 squared, which is just 1 times 1, equals 1. 2 squared, 2 times 2 equals 4. 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and all the way down through 13, which is 169. Now, do you need to know all of these? No, but we should very easily be able to know up through 12. Ideally, you're going to want to know through 15. It's just going to make your life easier. So something to put in your memory bank that, hey, I should probably know this. And the more that you're working with it, the easier it'll become as well. So if we're trying to approximate an irrational number, that's something that we've been talking about. Like right here, we have the square root of 92. Well, we know that that's not a perfect square. It doesn't fit right here onto the chart. So we need to approximate this irrational number. The first thing we want to do is figure out where 92 fits in our chart. All right, so where does 92 fit? It looks like 81 and 100. So right here in between 81 and 100, we know that the square root of 92 is going to be in there. Why do we know that? Because if we just wanted to find 9, the square root of 9 squared, right? That's how we're doing it, so we could find the square root right here. So it's in between 81 and 100, which actually means it's going to be somewhere in between 9 and 10 when we're all said and done here. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that this is going to be 9 over here on our number line, and this is going to be 10. Okay, now our second step says that we're going to calculate which perfect square is closer. All right, so the square root of 91, or sorry, the square root of 9 is 81. So we're going to do 92 minus 81, and we can see that that's going to give us 11. And then we're also going to do what the difference is between the square root of 192, or of 10 and 92. So that's going to give us 100. 10 squared is 100 minus 92. Sorry, my writing with my mouse at this point is 8. All right, so which one is it closer to? It's 11 units away from the square root, or from 9 squared, and it's 8 units away from 10 squared. So we know that's going to be somewhere over here closer than that, or closer over here. So you're just going to guesstimate right now. That's all I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to put where you think that it's going to be. Now, it's pretty close right here. It's pretty close to the middle because 8 and 11 are close to each other. So maybe over 1, maybe over 2. I'm going to say maybe right around here. That's going to be our approximation right now on our number line. And we could easily just say for right now that our approximation, oops, I'm sorry, we don't want a square root. The approximation of the square root of 92, we're going to say it is approximately. Remember, we use these signs instead of an equal sign when we are guessing or estimating what it's going to be. But it's approximately, let's just say 9.6. Because it's somewhere in between 9 and 10, but we know that it's closer to 10 for right now, but not by very much. So we're going to say 9.6. That's going to be good. I'll show you how to go through and get a more exact number, but for right now, let's just get the hang of what whole numbers were in between. All right, so the square root of 88. All right, let's see again on the left-hand side, what numbers are these going to go in between? It looks like the same two numbers, 9 and 10. All right, so we're going to have 9 over here and 10 over here again. Now let's figure out which one it's closer to. We're going to calculate which number on the number line it's going to be closer to. So 9 squared is 81. So 88 minus 81, that's going to give us 7. All right, and 10 squared is going to be 100. So 100 minus 81, that's going to give us 19. All right, so we know that it's somewhere in between 9 and 10, but which one is it closer to? It's only 7 away from 9 squared, but it's 19 away from 10 squared. So that's going to tell me that it's somewhere over here, closer to the 9 number. All right, so we've got, if we add those together, 19 and 7, we're going to talk about 26 maybe. So maybe somewhere over here. I mean, 88 really is pretty close to 81, so we can do it right here. We're going to approximate for right now that it's going to be right there. So we're going to say the square root of 88 is approximately 9.3. Now, the square root of 88 and the square root of 92, you would expect those numbers to be different. It happens to be that these two examples are both in between the numbers of 9 and 10 because 9 squared is 81 and 10 squared is 100, and both of these numbers happen to fall in between there. But we can see by doing our calculating here on the second step that the square root of 92 is 11 units away from 9, and it's the 8 units away from 10, so we know that it's closer over here, closer to the 10. The same thing over here, 88, it's only 7 units squared, or 7 units when it's away from 9 squared, and this is 19 units away from 10 squared, so we are able to say that, yes, it should be closer to the 9 side on here. So, in a nutshell, what we want to do is you want to take the number, that irrational number that we're trying to approximate right here. You need to plug it into the perfect squares that we know. We need to figure out where it fits in this puzzle right here. What two whole numbers is it going to be in between? That's what you're going to put on your number line between this number and this number. And then you're going to take the second step and calculate which one it's closer to, and just take a good educated guess on where it's going to be. I'll show you an exact way, like I said before, of finding the exact approximation using a decimal on another day, but we want to get really confident in using this before we go there. So if you have any questions, as always, feel free to email me, shoot out on Google Classroom, or on Remind. I am here for you.